At least 50 African people at risk of imminent execution in Saudi Arabia. 6 convicts in Najran prison have already been beheaded over the past month, inmates tell me. Amid uptick in executions, dozens of people from the Horn of Africa on death row in Saudi Arabia have been told that their executions could take place any day, inmates and their relatives told Middle East Eye. The men are all from Ethiopia and Somalia and have been convicted of drug trafficking, which carries a death sentence in Saudi Arabia. Held at the Najran prison near the border with Yemen, inmates say they were notified several weeks ago that their sentences, typically beheadings, would be carried out soon. "They have told us to say our goodbyes," one of the convicted men, who preferred not to be named, told me. "We were told that executions would begin shortly after Eid al-Adha, and now they have started." List of names of the convicted obtained by me includes 43 Ethiopians and 13 Somalis. According to inmates, at least 6 were put to death over the past month. Rise in executions. Amnesty International has documented at least 52 executions for drug-related offenses in the kingdom from January to April. Keen to soften the country's conservative image as part of its Vision 2030 economic reform program, and ahead of hosting of the 2034 FIFA World Cup, Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman has enacted a whirlwind of reforms liberalizing some elements of Saudi society. He has also repeatedly pledged to amend the country's harsh justice system, which lists adultery, apostasy, and sorcery as capital offenses. Saudi Arabia is among the world's leading executioners this year. 100 executions were documented by May alone. One possible reason for the spike, according to experts, is that additional drugs appear to have been added to the list of those meriting capital punishment. "We've monitored death sentence cases of numerous foreign nationals for years, and drug offenses are usually linked to substances like amphetamines or cocaine," Duadani, a researcher with the European Saudi Organization for Human Rights, told MEE. "However, we've noticed that from 2024 onwards, many foreigners have been executed for possession of hashish, so they've expanded the offenses that can lead to execution. All of the Ethiopians and Somali executions we documented this year were linked to hashish possession or smuggling." For the family of 27-year-old Khalid Muhammad Ibrahim, the news the executions for drug offenses were resuming has plunged them into heartache. Ibrahim's older brother insists his sibling is innocent and said it has been a harrowing 7 years for the family since he was arrested. "He tried to enter the country through Yemen," Muleta told us. A border guard encouraged him to tell his jailers that he was a drug smuggler, saying it would get him sent to court and quickly cleared since there was no evidence. He believed them. Fleeing persecution, Muleta said Ibrahim was effectively forced out of his own country. Hailing from the town of Kalenko in Ethiopia's Oromia region, he was among the students who took part in the Oromo protests of 2016, which eventually culminated in the resignation of Prime Minister Hailemariam Desalegn 2 years later. Both brothers were among thousands of youths jailed for taking part in the anti-government uprising, Muleta recalled. "He wanted to afford a better life for his son but closed all opportunities for him," said Muleta. "That is why he left Ethiopia." Ibrahim never lived as a free man in Saudi Arabia, as he was detained immediately upon arrival in 2018. After 11 court appearances, he was sentenced to death in October 2019. He has never had the opportunity to meet his son, who is now 8 years old. Dani said cases like Ibrahim's typically proceed through the courts to the royal court, Saudi Arabia's highest, where death sentences are signed by the king. However, sometimes the documents show that the accused never had a lawyer, Dani said.